This is Wanda Vitale with another episode of the Empowered Empaths. We are talking about subconscious identities today. And why is that so important, especially for empaths? We can't ever outperform our subconscious identity. And where do they come from? They come from who we believed we are. They come from programming that happened before we were 7 years old. So we have a subconscious identity for everything. We have a subconscious identity for spending money, for earning money, for receiving love, for ease in our lives. We have a subconscious identity for everything. And these come from decisions that we made when we were little, before we were 7 years old. So we saw we experienced parents arguing about money. So we made some decisions about, okay, money or love. I'm going to go for love. So money becomes a big taboo. I actually have worked with some clients who think money is a bad thing. And money isn't a bad thing. We project onto money because of what we saw, that money is hard, it's difficult, it causes problems. So we may have an identity about just receiving the goodness that life has to offer. If you are adopted, or if you were not wanted as a child, then it is very likely that you have a subconscious identity that pushes people away so that you don't get hurt again, and so that you don't just open up to the goodness uh, that just exists for all of us. We have a subconscious identity for every aspect of our lives. Whether we think that life is easy, whether we think it's about hard work, whether we think we have to earn love, earn money, it's all a subconscious identity. And none of it is true. It's what we experienced as a child. We lived in theta state as a little kid up until we're about 7 years old. Theta state is the state just before we go to sleep, where whatever we go to sleep with goes straight into our subconscious. The subconscious, its job is to put things on autopilot so that our brains are very efficient. So you can look at areas in your life that are challenging. You have a subconscious identity at play. You can look at areas of your life that have been really easy for you. That's a subconscious identity. It's all learned. And what I see in the world is that just about everybody's out there trying to outperform their subconscious identity. And how do they do that? Working harder, deploying strategies, trying to hustle and grind, trying to make things happen. And it doesn't work. It doesn't work. Just like a thermostat, it may work temporarily, but then the thermostat makes sure that you don't outperform your identity. So what happens? Fear comes up, procrastination shows up, doubt shows up, because your subconscious is attempting to keep you safe in this subconscious identity. And so nothing that we can do will change it. We've all heard stories about people who have won the lottery, and in 2 to 3 years, they're broke again. And this is an example of a subconscious identity about, could be deserving, spending, saving, how those all kick in. And the money lasts for 2 or 3 years, and then they're broke again. So if we want to change an area of our lives, we've got to look at Who do I say I am? And we can look at that in several ways, and easily find out what these beliefs are by looking at what's challenging. What area of my life is challenging? Maybe it's your work where you've just done everything, or you're trying to grow your business and the clients aren't showing up, or the money's not coming in consistently. You've got a subconscious identity. So the only way to change our lives is to decide who is this version of me? What's this version of me like that is living the kind of life that I love, where in this instance, where clients show up, where money flows in, where I know that ideas and opportunities are everywhere. So the process is to, first of all, notice the gap. When you look at what you want and who that version of you is, what do you believe now? Your body determines what happens. The feeling in your body determines what you're matched to. So if you say, like many people do, I'm a millionaire, right? A lot of people use that for an affirmation. I'm a millionaire. I have a steady flow of clients. But if your body says, who are you kidding? I'm not a millionaire. Or if your body contracts in fear, that's what you're a match to. You're a match to more fear. If you check your bank account and think, I don't have that much money, even though you've been saying I am rich, the feeling in your body is what you call in. It determines what you're a match to. So this is why I teach several tools in my programs and with coaching clients, my one-on-one clients, to embody the feeling of the new you. I use self-hypnosis. I use some other programs to feel the block. You've got to feel that tension, that if you look at your bank account and think, where's the money going to come from? Or if you just contract, you've got to feel that contraction and then start to act as if, pretend. And I teach techniques to do that. Everything that we experience in our lives is all made up. And most of it is negative. Most of it, neuroscientists tell us, is their survival-based beliefs that we took on as a little kid. Because as a little kid, we didn't know how to survive. So we made decisions like life isn't safe. I don't always get what I want. Disappointment, fear of disappointment is a huge belief for empaths, because we were disappointed. Nobody understood us. We were sensitive little souls. So here we are as adults, taking our message to the world, being examples of possibility for people, and the thermostat kicks in. In order to change the thermostat, we've got to change who we believe we are. And that means feeling, embodying this new version of us. And one way that you can do that, I will give you, one tool right now. One way that we can do that is just make a decision. We can make a different decision. So if you want to experience something and the feeling in your body is, well, that's not true. I never get what I want. Or, yeah, but it's just not safe. What if? Make a decision. I always get what I want. I'll use that one. I always get what I want. Or I am loved. I am cherished. One of the affirmations that I like for empaths is I am chosen, because we were so different, and most of us front-loaded trauma we were definitely not chosen. Um, so many people that I've worked with had parents that didn't know how to be parents, and certainly didn't know how to nurture and take care of us and support us. So for many people that I talked to, we took care of our parents, or we just became so independent that we didn't expect anything. I didn't expect anything when I was a kid. So we have to make a new belief that serves you. Like, well, I always get everything I want. I always get whatever my heart desires. That would be the new decision. And then we work with your body, with your brain. We immediately look for a time when you did get what you wanted, when you did experience your heart's desire. It's there. Your mind remembers everything. Your mind is a big supercomputer, and it remembers everything. So even if the first thought is, oh no, it's not true. I don't always get what my heart desires. Just hang in there, because you will remember. Tell your mind to look for a memory when you got what you really wanted. It could have been a toy when you were little. It could have been a job that came through as an adult. It could be, I don't know, it could be when you really wanted to feel loved and a friend, had a party for you. It could be anything. But make a decision and then look for proof. Your brain, the reticular activating system in the brain, then immediately starts to look for proof. You may have one thought, one memory. Write it down. What I want you to do is write down the new belief, and then write down the new decision. Yeah, this is what, and then write down the proof. I got my heart's desire here. Yeah, this happened and this happened. I think it's the Course in Miracles that says, what we look for, we always find. We all have memories when life worked out, when miraculous things happened, when we were loved, when we felt abundant, when life was good. But mostly because of the way we're wired, we're looking for bad things. So make a new decision. Decide to look for proof. And it may be just one or two things in the beginning, but you will start to see more proof that here's proof. This is when I got what I wanted. This is when, oh my gosh, this is when just this unexpected thing came in. And I was so filled with gratitude. And then feel it. The only way we get what we want, and I'm not talking about your ego, I'm talking about things that we would love, experiences that we would love, whatever we would love. The only way that it happens easily is becoming the version of ourselves that is already experiencing it, acting as if, pretending, looking for evidence. We cannot believe two things, two different opposing things at the same time. We can't have opposing beliefs. So as you start to prove to yourself, here's when I got proof. Yeah, this happened and this happened. You cannot believe the old belief anymore. And you start to feel in your body the evidence that, yeah, I got this and this happened and this happened and this happened. So you're not pretending anymore. You have real life evidence of the new identity and the new belief. So you could have an identity that says, the more I play, the more money I make. I work with a lot of entrepreneurs. So a very common one is, oh, it's so hard. I work so many hours. That's something we learned. I grew up with the struggle gene in my life since my lineage is farmers in the Midwest and also Native American. My great-grandmother was in the Trail of Tears. I'm part Cherokee. So my beliefs were hardship. You can't trust life. I had a mother that would say to me, honey, don't get your hopes up. You may not get what you want, trying to protect me, but it's the antithesis of being a conscious creator. So you may have some of those going on. They're all unconscious. And no matter what you do, like a thermostat, they're going to throttle you down, play for a while, but then the results don't come in. So then you go back to, how am I going to do this? I've got to work more hours. I got to figure this out. Here's the thing. When we decide consciously who we want to be, life can just be easy because we're aligned. We can be aligned with a version of us that says something like, well, I always have great ideas. Life just loves me. I'm surprised and delighted by life every day. We might choose to believe something like, I have a wait list of clients. I have a wait list of perfect clients. But these aren't just words. These are feelings in the body that we take on. We can believe anything. And the key to living a life that feels amazing and easy and expansive is deciding who we're choosing to be instead of who we were programmed to be. And it's all in the feeling, all in the feeling. So a place to start is notice what you notice. Notice what makes you contract. Notice the thoughts that you end up thinking to yourself when you're challenged, like, things just don't work out for me, or maybe it's just not meant to be. Or you think, I don't know, anything that you would think that's negative. It's just programming. Life can be easy because when we're a match for the version of ourselves that is living a beautiful, loving, expansive, happy life, because it's all about frequency, we're a match for opportunities, ideas, synchronicities that are in alignment with that identity. One of the things you may even hear yourself say is, well, I never have good ideas. Or my husband used to say, talk about computer wars, because he would sit down to try to do something technical, and he's not. He's super smart, but he's not technically savvy. So he would sit down and utter computer wars. So you can imagine what happened. Things didn't work. Nothing worked. So he would call me to help. So he has learned from me when he sits down to say, this is so easy. Everything is so easy. It's all so easy to know what to do. And he feels that in his body. And so within a very short time, that's his experience. I hardly ever have to help him with anything technical. So this stuff doesn't take a long time. It takes consistency. You might think that life isn't safe. You might think, well, I'm powerless. That's learned. That's a learned identity. And as empaths, most of us learned that because things were happening over which we had no control. So we decided life isn't safe. Or we had parents or caregivers who told us life just isn't safe. You got to watch out. You got to be careful. So that's all it is. It's programming. You don't have a life sentence to anything. unless you're choosing not to change your programming and your identity. So start with a new identity. Who do you want to be? What do you want to be easy in your life that isn't? Listen to what you're saying now. Um, Listen to your thoughts that tell you things aren't easy, or it's hard, or it's not going to make a difference, or I don't know how. A lot of people have a belief that says, well, I don't know how. So then they don't. What if you had a belief that says, life is here to love me and I'm guided in every moment? Because we are, because you have a higher mind that guides you. But if you have that identity that says, I can't trust life, I'm powerless, life is hard, everything out there affects me, that will be your experience. The words that we say to ourselves are a self-fulfilling prophecy. So decide who you want to be that, act as if, pretend, imagine. If you were living a life that you love right now and everything had worked out in all the areas that you're being challenged in, how would you feel? Feel that now. And that's how we change the programs that are running our bodies and our lives. That's how we change the set point for your thermostat for every area of your life. Thanks for listening. And if you haven't hit subscribe, do that. Thanks.